Hello, and thanks for joining me. I'm out for a ride today on my Harley-Davidson. It's a Dyna Fat Bob, 2008 Dyna Fat Bob. It was a bit nicer earlier. It's a bit clouded over now, but still, not bad weather. It's dry, and I'm enjoying the ride, even though it's a little bit cool. It's just getting into autumn here in the UK. Anyway, what I'm reflecting on today is I've come to the conclusion that some Harley-Davidson owners here in the UK are snowflakes. I'm sure you're familiar with that expression. And, in coming to that conclusion, I'm actually quite shocked. So, if you live outside of the UK, I need to explain to you that here in the UK, Harley riders are often treated with scorn and derision. To put it succinctly, Harley riders tend to get laughed at by other bikers for being posers who ride overpriced tractors. Now, as a long-term Harley owner, I've certainly seen my fair share of this kind of abuse, and like most other Harley riders, I just shrug it off as being typical banter, biker banter, the kind of joking that you get, because that's British humour. And British humour is sometimes difficult for others to understand, as it's deeply rooted in biting sarcasm, and that can, to people from different cultures, appear very savage. You just have to listen to Ricky Gervais's speech at the Golden Globes Award in 2020 to get a good dose of this type of British humour. Now, if you've not seen that performance by Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes, then you must look it up on YouTube. And to me, as a Brit, it's doubly funny. Firstly, because it's great British humour, and secondly, because of the reaction of the mainly American audience who he's roasting. This is a great British tradition, and I have to say, it's one that is not alien to our American cousins. You are familiar with sarcasm and roasting people and what have you. But back to my point, it seems that some Harley owners are snowflakes in that they just can't handle this kind of banter. Now, a snowflake, if you look it up in the dictionary, it's defined as somebody who has an inflated sense of uniqueness, specialness, and along with that, a sense of entitlement, and that they're easily offended and they can't deal with opposing opinions. They can't deal with people who have opinions that differ to theirs. And this just does, to me, seem to fit some Harley owners that I've come across. They are hypersensitive to any criticism levelled at their beloved brand. Now, I find this very interesting because being a snowflake is something we usually associate with younger people, particularly those who have a strong political lean to the left. And that's not exactly the profile of your typical Harley owner. So, why is this? Why do I find some of them to be snowflakes and so sensitive about criticism about Harley-Davidson? Well, I think there's a few reasons for this. Firstly, Harley riders here in the UK seem to have bought into the brand and bought into the image that comes with the Harley-Davidson brand far more than you find is the case with riders of other makes of bikes. Therefore, any attack on their favourite brand, on Harley-Davidson, is an attack on their self-identity. You just don't get that with Kawasaki riders or Yamaha riders. They're just not buying into it in the same way. They ride Kawasaki's because they like the Kawasaki bikes, and that's pretty much as far as it goes. There's no sort of wider image and lifestyle thing that comes with it. Now, I remember reading recently from an American author called Richard Paul Evans, and he was writing about the Crazy Horse Monument, the big carving in the hillside. And he said, and I quote, words along the lines of, I found that people who shout their opinion the loudest are usually the ones who are most insecure in their own position. And I think that's a very good sentiment. So, I sometimes think that some of those people who protest so strongly and try and defend Harley-Davidson against distractors are those who are perhaps most insecure themselves about the shortcomings of Harleys. I love my Harley. I've owned several Harleys, and I've been riding them for over 30 years. But I'd be the first person to admit that they are not perfect. No bike is, nor are Harleys for everyone. Tastes differ, and what people want out of motorbikes differ. So I've got no problem with people, criticising Harley-Davidsons. I know why I ride a Harley, and I know what I like about them. And what others think or say doesn't change that at all. And I'm sure that many other Harley riders feel the same way as I do. They're just indifferent to this kind of banter. But there are some who feel the need to defend even the slightest criticism of Harley-Davidson and of their bikes. And to me, they are just hypersensitive snowflakes. So, get over yourself and admit that most other bikers look down on you as being something of a prick.